This is KCCK's Cultural Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guest today is Rachael Lindhart. Rachel's with the Iowa City Community Theater, director of an upcoming production. Rachel, welcome.
Thank you very much.
We've got Thanksgiving out of the way, and as we hurtle headlong into the Christmas season, you guys have a show coming up that is, if it is a Christmas show, that is not evident from the title.
No, and it's really not a Christmas show. It's a nice family show, though, and anyone would enjoy it, Christmas time or otherwise. It actually takes place in Pennsylvania. It's by George Kaufman and Moss Hart, and they wrote it after their first big hit as a team. They both wrote plays with other people, but as a team, they wrote Once in a Lifetime, and that was a smash hit. Moss Hart wrote his book Act One about his life up until that became a smash hit. Well, they seemed to have plenty of money, so both of them. So they both bought houses in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, country houses, as befitting gentlemen who would come out and spend time in the country. Well, it was not a paradise, which they had thought it would be. George Kaufman, all the extensive repairs to his house before he could even move in, and the lack of a good well on the property, he eventually did develop it, however, and it was a very lovely home. But it led him to the quip, this is what God would do if he had money. So they both had these houses, and the houses turned out to be money pits, and they had a few problems. So eventually they knew how to make that pay off, however. They wrote this play about the problems of the new homeowner who wants an idyllic, lovely place out in nature in the country, and things don't quite work out that way.
The play is called George Washington Slept Here.
Yes, indeed it is. And the house that the homeowner buys, reputedly George Washington slept there. That's a good question that we pose in the play, whether he really did or not. But it's that kind of house built in the 1700s where George Washington could have slept, and then they have to do an awfully lot of work to transform it into a nice home for The play was written in 1939, premiered in 1940.
So it predates, any TV show or movie like The Money Pit, for those who remember that movie, that is about a homeowner getting in over their head, trying to get their house remodeled, probably has its roots in this very play.
Yes, and another thing that seems very similar to us is it's very like Green Acres in some ways.
Okay.
The character of the sort of canny local caretaker is one they use in Green Acres, and also the fact that the wife is a total city girl and doesn't especially want to be there, and it was the husband's idea to buy the place in the country. And it was also quite a successful movie in the 1940s with Jack Benny as Newton Fuller. In that case, they reversed the roles, though. Jack Benny was essentially the character of the wife. He didn't want to be there.
The city guy who didn't want to move to the country.
He didn't want to spend money on the house because he was too cheap, all that kind of stuff. So it's in that way it's very different, but it's exactly the same plot.
Were you familiar with the play or the movie when you picked this one to direct?
Not the movie, but I was familiar with the play. I had directed it many years ago, 15 years ago plus, at Augustana College in Rock Island when they had asked me to do it. And of course, we had all college students. It worked out very well for that production because there are a number of younger people in the cast. But I always thought it would be fun to have it with everyone the right age to play it. So when I was trying to think of something I could maybe direct for ICCT, I thought again of this play because it it was a big hit at Augustana, and it is a very funny play.
So it was a hit with the college crowd. Figured
Yes,
that it'd
yes.
probably do okay well in a college town.
Yes, yes, and it is it's a very tried and true kind of a plot, but Kaufman and Hart have written such wonderful plays, and so they're.
Didn't they write Cheaper by the Dozen is one of theirs? Yes?
No, that
Okay.
actually was a book. But they wrote not once in a lifetime, but You Can't Take It With You.
Right.
Was
That's the one I'm
very,
thinking of,
very
yeah.
popular play, too. Yeah.
Talking with Rachael Lindhart from the Iowa City Community Theater about George Washington Slept Here, which opens and runs when?
It opens December 2nd, and there are performances on December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and then again on the 9th, 10th, and 11th, the succeeding weekend. We have Friday night at 7:30, Saturday night at 7:30, and 2 Sunday matinees at 2 p.m.
Well, I don't want you to spoil anything for anyone who wants to come and see the show. What's your favorite moment as you're getting in final approach stages to getting it put together? What's your favorite moment so far?
Oh, it's hard to say. Although one of my favorite moments is an opening moment, because Newton Fuller, we find out right away, has bought this house without consulting anyone. He thinks it would be a great idea, so naturally he thinks it would be a great idea for his family. Well, they arrive and see the condition of the place when we start the play. And when his wife, and then he finally can't resist, and he tells his wife that he has bought the place. And her reaction is not what he was hoping for, let us say. and so that plays for a long time in the play.
The play is George Washington Slept Here, opens December 2nd at the Iowa City Community Theater, normal space in the Johnson County Fairgrounds.
Yes, indeed.
Your normal home. And runs for 2 weekends. And if people want tickets, the website is... Do you know the website? I know the website because I pulled it up while we were talking. iowacity.communitytheater.com. iowacity.communitytheater.com. Well, it just sounds like a great break from all the holiday rushing around to do something totally different and just grab the family or guests coming in from out of town and
laugh.
And laugh all night long. George Washington Slept Here at the Iowa City Community Theater. Rachael, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you for having me, Denny.